Good morning. My name's Chris Brown. I'm with Morgan's Financial. I'm here with Nick Lim, the Executive Chairman of Mineral Deposits. Nick, would you care to say a few words about mineral deposits?
Sure, we're one of the bigger mineral sands producers in the world. We produce about 7% of the world's zircon and about 4% of the world's titanium feedstocks, which of course goes into paint and plastics and the like mainly. So we've got a big operating mine in West Africa. We spent 650 million building, and linked to that a smelter in Norway because of cheap electricity, where we smelt the titanium minerals to produce an intermediate product, titanium product. So the mine got built through really the last 2 or 3 years, and is just finishing coming on stream. So it'll come on stream, has come on stream about a year ago. It'll be in full production by the end of this year, 2015. The smelter, of course, has been operating for many years. So if we look forward to next year, the completion of the integration of the mine with the smelter, the finishing of the ramping up of the mine, which is nearly there, should be a major catalyst for us, I think, as people recognise this operation is one of the big ones. And of course, we're looking for a recovery in the prices too. I mean, commodity prices are poor, and I guess that's all linked to China and European economies as much as anything else.
Nick, the mine's in West Africa, you said. It's in Senegal, as I understand, about 100 kilometres north of the capital of Dakar. What's it been like working there, and what's the ownership structure of the mine?
So, we've been in Senegal about 10 years. We actually built a very large gold mine there, which we sold to or gave to shareholders in 2010 for about, I guess that was about 700 million, and we moved back onto this project to develop it. It's a very easy country. We say Africa for beginners, really. Very French. And there we have, and in fact our business generally is a 50-50 joint venture with France's largest mining company, a company called Eramet. So fairly easy operating environment for us.
And the refinery or the smelter in Norway, the benefits of operating in Europe and operating in Norway, and the environmental issues. Any environmental issues with that?
Well, I think we own probably the most beautifully located smelter in the world. It sits on the edge of a fjord. It is pretty much a zero emissions business, and Norway, of course, a wonderful place to operate. It's located there because electricity is incredibly cheap, and it's an electric arc furnace, so we use a lot of electricity. Of course, there are tight environmental controls, but the fact that we operate on the edge of fjords says it all, really, that we're very clean in that respect, and not an issue. In fact, there's a very large zinc smelter just down the fjord, another couple of kilometres from us. So Norway's an easy place to operate, and labour's expensive, but it's offset by extremely high productivity. So lovely place to operate, I have to say.
And I guess one final one from me, the commodity cycle. We saw some highs in 2011, but they've come off that. We seem to be at much lower levels. They're still high relative to where they were in the early 2000s. Where do you think we are in the cycle, and where do you think it's going to go?
Well, I think, just to round that out, slag, what we make at the smelter and sell, we were selling for $1,500 a tonne in 2012. We're now selling it for $500 a tonne, which tells you a lot about the commodity cycle. But what we make, zircon and titanium products, are fundamental industrial products. Titanium mainly goes into paints, zircon into ceramics and the like. So those commodities tend to move where global GDP moves. What we've got at the moment in a lot of commodities is a hangover from a boom, really. Too much supply, demand slightly weaker. That's moving back into balance. It's moving back into balance not so much from demand side, which is flat, but from supply cuts. So producer discipline, marginal projects declining. I think that cycle's got another 12 months to run before we see prices getting back to what I would consider reasonable. Because they're at a point where more than half the global producers in many commodities, not only ours, are actually losing money at this. We're very lucky we're at the bottom of the cost curve in both Norway and Senegal, so it's not great, but we're still making money, and that's pretty unusual in this time.
Thanks very much, Nick. Thanks for that insight into mineral deposits.